What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here live for your Week 7 NFL review show. This is the show where I recap this past week's NFL action, give you my thoughts uncensored about the NFL, my reaction to what just went down this past week. And I want to open up the show by saying, boy, was this a depressing week to be me. I mean, we had the Patriots on Monday night. You expect almost double-digit favorites at home, playing great football, to just walk all over the Chicago Bears. A team that a Bill Belichick prepared coach squad would be able to just knock out with ease. That doesn't happen. We'll get to that shortly. We saw the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady, my favorite player of all time, lose to the Carolina Panthers. And it was so bad, bro. So bad. One of my best friends is a Carolina Panthers fan. He still has not texted me about them beating the Bucs. I don't think his team, or he would have never thought his team would have been able to beat Tom Brady. He still hasn't texted me about it. That's how bad it was, guys. He didn't even have enough energy, enough passion to tell me off that the Bucs got destroyed. He didn't even get after me. That's how depressing it was. They lose 21-3 against a team that many thought and may still get the first overall pick in the draft. It was a depressing week to be me. Tom Brady gets destroyed. The Patriots get destroyed. My boy, my young prince, Mac Jones, embarrassed on primetime. My GOAT, embarrassed by the Carolina Panthers. It's a depressing week, guys. It's just depressing stuff, you know? But if you're ready for some rants, if you're ready for some emotion, if you're ready for the absolute truth about these teams, make sure that you do Gronk, Spike, the like button. And what I want you guys to do, because hear me out for a second. This channel is not just about me, okay? This channel, when people ask, hey, Mitch, you do YouTube, right? How many subscribers you got now? Because I get that question a lot, okay? I get that question a lot. How many subscribers do you have? I say we have 39,000. We have 39K. We almost have 40K. Okay? We. And am I talking about some guy in the corner that's shooting the video? No, it's just me in this room right now. Just me staring at a Sony camera right now. It's just me. Nobody else. I make the graphics. I edit the videos. I talk. Okay? I produce. I take the notes. I watch all the games. Sure, Lenny does an odd short here and there. Sure, Ultra posts on Instagram every now and again. Shout out to those guys. But for the most part, 99% is me. So what am I talking about with we? I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you that is watching right now this video that is live on the Bottom Line View on a Tuesday night. I'm talking about the BLVer. You are as important as I am to this operation here. So if you guys don't support, we're going nowhere. This is a mountain. We got to climb the mountain together, guys. We got to climb the mountain together, the content mountain together. So that means the best way to support is to Gronk spike the like button. The best way to support is comment on every video. It doesn't even matter what the comment is. It could be, Mitch, your hair looks terrible today. Mitch, you're ugly. Like, it doesn't matter what the comment is, okay? Just comment, right? Subscribe to the channel. Maybe you watch this channel all the time, but you don't actually subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, bro. It's free. And if you want to go the extra step, you can support by becoming a BLV patron, by becoming a BLV YouTube member. You get exclusive perks there as well. You don't support for free, right? I give you stuff in return, like a live stream every week, like my best bets, like the BLV vs. Consensus podcast. So if you want to support and take that next step, you guys can. But just letting you guys know that every time I talk to somebody and they ask, Mitch, how many subscribers do you have? I say we. I say we. And it's not referring to anybody but the subscribers, but the BLVers. Okay? Gotta get that off my chest. Now, the opening rant is about coaches. I watch football every week, right? And sometimes I just wonder if these coaches are watching the same games as I am. Is Doug Peterson watching the same game that I am? Is Mike McDaniel watching the same game that I am? Is Matt LaFleur watching the same game that I am? And what I mean by that is, Mike McDaniel, it's Sunday Night Football. You want to look good, right? Meanwhile, Harley Quinn is calling you a creep because you have glasses on and you look nerdy. But that's besides the point. Mike McDaniel, a way you could not look like a creep is when you're up 16-10 against Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett. Okay? Not Patrick Mahomes, not Josh Allen, Kenny Pickett. You are winning by 6 points. If you kick the field goal, you are leading by 2 possessions. I think that math is correct. 2 possessions. Are you watching the same game as me, Mike McDaniel? Maybe you need to get a new pair of glasses, bro. It's 16-10. The game is literally going to be over if you just take the points. Meanwhile, we have Doug Peterson going for 4th down every single time. Meanwhile, we've got Mike Vrabel winning games, kicking the field goal. Meanwhile, we've got Brian Daboll winning games in New York. Everybody's saying, whoa, how are the Giants, how do they only have 1 loss? You know what? They don't really have 1 loss. Teams are losing to the Giants because they refuse to take the points. Doug Peterson did it again. Up 4. He refuses to make it a 7-point game. They lose the game. What do you know? What do you know? So, these coaches, I advise you, instead of trying to call the next play in your sequence of plays, take a step back, give the play sheet to somebody else. Give it to somebody else. It doesn't matter who. Step back, look at the game, investigate it, think about it. marinate in it, and determine what is the game like today? What is the game flow? How are we running the ball? How are we throwing the ball? How are we matching up on the line of scrimmage? How is their quarterback playing? How is our quarterback playing? How's our kicker playing? How's their kicker playing? Sit back, hand the play call sheet to somebody else, some other jabroni, take a step back, and determine, how is this game being played? Who am I playing on the other side? Am I playing Josh Allen or am I playing Kenny Pickett? Because sometimes I swear these coaches don't take into account what is actually happening in front of their face. Mike McDaniel's football team has struggled to score points, and he still doesn't want to kick field goals against the Pittsburgh Steelers and Kenny Pickett. Watch the game instead of just going off the analytics, guys. I am pro analytics. This is not me trying to scoff at analytics, that they mean nothing, that they shouldn't be utilized. You know what's more important than analytics? What is happening in the friggin' game in front of your face? That's what's really coaching right there. That is coaching. It's a lost art in the NFL. Literally, the coach watching the game is a lost art in the NFL. If you feel the same way I do, don't forget to Gronk spike the like button. Now, appreciate everybody joining the chat. Let's get to it. I know everybody wants to talk about it. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I'm not going to leave it to the end. What's going on in New England? Should you be Team Mac? Should you be Team Zappy? Should you be Zappy? Or should you be a Big Mac? Now, Monday Night Football, Chicago Bears absolutely destroy the New England Patriots. And I said it numerous times yesterday. Numerous. It didn't matter who was playing quarterback yesterday. The great Joe Montana could have been put into a time machine, come back, plopped onto the field, and the Patriots would have got their asses kicked. It didn't matter all of a sudden if Peyton Manning came out of his house talking with Barack Obama, went into that same time machine, went to Gillette Stadium, and played for the Patriots. It wouldn't have mattered if Tom Brady himself went back in time, brought Randy Moss with him. The Patriots still would have gotten their asses kicked. The Patriots sucked yesterday. There is no other way to say it. They stunk up the joint. They sucked. They were awful. They were atrocious. They were garbage. They were absolutely trash yesterday. It didn't matter who the quarterback was. It could have been Zappy. It could have been Mac Jones. It could have been Bill Belichick himself. It didn't matter. The Patriots got their asses kicked. They got their asses kicked on the line of scrimmage on offense, on the line of scrimmage on defense. They lost the battle on special teams and field position. They couldn't run the ball the way they're used to. They couldn't stop the run the way they're used to. They couldn't figure out how to contain Justin Fields. Every team in the NFL has been able to stop Justin Fields except for the Patriots yesterday. They couldn't limit an offense that was averaging 15 points per game yesterday. They didn't do anything well, guys. It didn't matter who was quarterback. Now, credit the Bears. They were ready to play. They were the tougher football team. They were the better managed and prepared and coached football team. They had a way better game plan, and they exploited some of the Patriots' defenses, especially weaknesses. Especially with that mobile quarterback stuff that the Patriots yet this year have been able to figure out and slow down. We lost to the Ravens. We lost to the Bears. Why? Because we can't stop the damn quarterback from running. If you watch the Patriots defense, they didn't contain the quarterback. How many times? I understand he's got 1, 2, 3 sacks. I don't give a crap. How many times? Yippee, 3 sacks. Guy's going to run around the corner, leave the integrity of the pass rush lane voided. I'm talking to you, Matt Judon. You're supposed to lead this team. You're supposed to be the dude. I get it. You had a good pass rushing day. Yippee-ki-yay. It didn't help your defense. You're running past the quarterback. Every play, running past the quarterback. We need to contain the fucking quarterback in the pocket. We're playing Justin Fields. Justin Fields can't read the defense. Justin Fields can't throw the ball with anticipation. Make him beat you by standing in the pocket, throwing the ball. Stop running around the quarterback. It's not that hard. And then we got to talk about the damn defense. I don't know who's calling the plays on defense. Who's calling the plays? Why did we not blitz the Bears like once in the entire game? They've got Dante fucking Pettis at wide receiver and we don't blitz him. Are we scared that Dante Pettis is going to run past our defense? Blitz the guy. What is this defense we're playing out there? I mean, my goodness. Who do we think we're playing? It's third down. Blitz them. Come on, we're playing soft. We didn't play with any aggression. We didn't take it to him. We played Justin Fields like he was... we gave him way too much respect. Like he was the next John Elway out there. I mean, my goodness. That was terrible. Terrible defense. Defense didn't play it right. They didn't contain the quarterback. They played soft defense. They played zone coverage. They're not good at playing zone continuously. We got to play more man. I don't care. The quarterback can run. Blitz the guy. Put some pressure on him. What the fuck are you doing? You got better players than this. Your players are too good. You're letting them down. That's bad coaching. And then you've got the damn offense. Okay, so Mac Jones starts the game. That's cool. If you think he's healthy enough to start the game, he should start the game. He's our starting quarterback from the beginning of the year. He's our guy, right? He led us to the playoffs last year. He should be the starter there. Okay, cool. Why do we put... What is with this different offense we run when Mac Jones is in the game? Why do we pretend like we're the 2013 Broncos all of a sudden when Mac Jones is quarterback? What is going on there? Why do we decide we're the 07 Patriots when Mac Jones is in the game? We're just playing in shotgun the whole game. We're trying to hit these little 5-yard passes. Bro, it's not even Mac's fault there. Why do we have him in the shotgun to start the game? He's coming back from an ankle injury. We don't know how healthy he is necessarily, and you're just throwing him into the fire against the number 2 pass defense in the NFL. The Bears' defense is good. I would say it's above average, especially against the pass. And we're throwing Mac Jones into the fire. Our bread and butter as a team is running the fucking ball, man. We're really good at running the ball. Run the ball! Get under center. Run the fucking ball. And then from there, you can play action from there. We've been so good the last 2 weeks. Running the ball and play action. That's all we do the last 2 weeks. All we do. Run, play action, run, play action, run, play action, play action, run, play action. That's all we do. And for some reason, we try to get into shotgun. And it's like we got Wes Welker and Randy Moss and Jabbar Gaffney and Dante Stallworth. Meanwhile, we don't. We've got Ramondre Stevenson. We got Damian Harris. We got Trent Brown. We got Michael Onwenu. Act like it. Act like we got these big fuckers on the offensive line. Act like we got great running backs. Matt Patricia. Act like it. Our quarterback's hurt. Put him in a position to succeed. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. It doesn't matter if it's Zappy. It doesn't matter if it's Mac. Play to our strengths as a team, and maybe our quarterback will play better. Why did we all of a sudden try to do something we're not good at? Like, have you guys watched the Patriots? I just talked about how Mike McDaniel doesn't watch the game. I guess Matt Patricia doesn't watch the tape. I guess Bill Belichick doesn't watch the tape. Have we watched the games where we tried to become the 07 Patriots because we lost them? Or we won barely against Mitch Trubisky? That's it. When we want to win the game, we play like the 2022 Patriots. That means we start the game, we run the ball, we run play action. If we find ourselves behind, then we open it up a little bit more. Don't start the game doing something we don't do well. That's not what we do. We're the Patriots. We do what we do well. We don't try to do something we're not. We're supposed to be well coached. We're supposed to be well prepared. We're supposed to win in all phases. We got our asses kicked on Monday Night Football. We got embarrassed by the Chicago Bears. And I fully expect that we should come out against the Jets and we should win that game because, quite frankly, this Patriots team is better than this Jets team. The Patriots have a lot of good players and the Patriots are a good team, and I believe that. I do not believe we are a bad team. We played like shit on Monday, and it starts with the coaches putting our players in positions to fail because we did not blitz Justin Fields. We acted like he was Mahomes. And then we played on offense. We played like we are the 07 Patriots. We're the 2022 Patriots. Okay? So to get to the question, Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi. Okay? I know everybody wants to hear what Mitch has got to say about this. Okay. Guys, I'm going to make this very simple for you, okay? And I know that there's a big Zappy following right now, and that makes total sense. He won 2 games, and he was impressive in those games, and he did very, very well. But the fact of the matter is that Mac Jones is the better quarterback. Mac Jones, you got to have a memory here, folks. We sucked in 2020. Cam Newton, we sucked. And then Mac Jones comes along. We go to the playoffs. And then he gets hurt to begin this year. Now, what happened in the game? Mac had 3 possessions. We put him in a situation to fail, like I said. We didn't play our game because for some reason, Matt Patricia thinks that we should have a different offense when Mac is in there than when Zappe is in there, which is wrong. Play to our strengths, not our weaknesses. Allow our quarterbacks. Mac Jones wants more play action. He said it outright. We're good at play action. Run fucking play action, please. And then we've got Mac. Okay, so he makes a bad mistake in the game, clearly. But he's coming off of injury. He's going to make mistakes. Now, when we saw Zappe go in the game, he had those 2 drives, right? They were good. We scored both times. We scored touchdowns before the half, I believe. Jakobi Meyers, wide open, right? What did we start to do when Zappe got in there? We started to go back to the offense that we were good at against the Browns and the Lions. We started to run the ball a bit. We started to get under center. We started to call play action. We started to put tight ends in the game. And we started to move the ball. And Zappe doesn't throw a great ball to Jakobi Meyers, but nonetheless, he gets into the end zone. Then the next drive, he throws a good ball to Devontae Parker. And that was pretty much all Zappe did all day. The rest of the game, when we fell behind, we saw the limitations of what Bailey Zappe is at this point. Not saying that he can't get better, not saying that he's not young and can grow, but right now, Bailey Zappe is a guy that when the offense is called right, the offense is called in a favorable manner to protect the quarterback, he can succeed. When we fall behind in games, Bailey Zappe was getting passes tipped. He was throwing bad interceptions. He was throwing bad passes in general. He was like getting pressured and making mistakes. Like Mac has just proven to be the better player so far in his 1 and a bit years of experience. And I don't think we should just all of a sudden bench him. And I really got to say this. Mac should be the starter next week. Mac is the more talented guy. Mac is the guy that I think allows more of the offense to operate at a high level. There may be struggles. Like I said at the beginning of that game, Chicago is a lot better on defense than the Browns or the Lions. Struggles were to be expected, especially coming off of injury. The Jets have a very good defense. Expect the offense to see some bits of pushback. We're not just going to dominate the Jets on Sunday on offense. If we do, that would be amazing. I don't think that's going to happen. Okay? Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Mac, here's my problem with Mac right now. Mac, I'm calling you out right now. I know you can play. I know you can play. Please act like Mac Jones. Please play like Mac Jones. Please do not try to play like Patrick Mahomes. You are getting yourself in trouble because you are playing outside of your abilities. You're trying to be something you are not. Okay? You are trying to fit inside a genre that you do not perform. You are trying to be a pop artist when you are a rock artist, bro. You're trying to be something you are not. Stop trying to be Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. Be Mac Jones. We drafted you because you made good decisions, because you're smart, because you got good pocket presence, because you're accurate, because you do the right thing with the football at all times. And typically last year, you did that. Don't try to do too much. The plays will come. The big plays will come, Mac. I love the scrambling that you're including into your game. That is nice. Okay, I like that. Stop trying to run outside the pocket and throw the ball across your body and make crazy plays. You are not that quarterback. Just play like Mac Jones and you will be fine. Okay? And Matt Patricia, get your head out of your ass and start calling the offense the way that it works. It's clear as day. Get under center. Run the ball. Run play action. And go from there. It's that simple. Now, Mac should start. We saw the limitations of Zappe late in that game. That is where I lie. That is where I stand. Mac is the guy. Mac should be the guy. And we'll see how it goes against the Jets. I think we'll beat the Jets. We will see what happens, though. Okay? Anything else I gotta say about the Patriots? Not really. I think I'm good there. I think I'm good there. Okay. Oh, never mind. I got one more thing to say. And it's about you guys. Fans at Gillette Stadium, Pats Nation. You guys fucking suck. Who are these fans in the stands that go to the game to actively cheer against the players that are playing on the field? You are doing our team a disservice by going to the game and cheering for the quarterback who's not playing in the game. We are not Zappe fans. We are not Mac fans. We are Patriot fans. We are Pats Nation. We are not Zappe Nation. Don't go to these games and act like an idiot. You know what I love about Bucs fans? You know what I love about Bucs fans? Bucs fans, they're just so happy that they can actually win some games that they don't really care. They're just like laid back. They're so grateful that Brady actually won some games for them. They don't even care. The Patriots fans are just a bunch of spoiled, rotten brats who go to the games and they drink their beers and they just chant whatever they want to chant. They don't even get loud. They're the worst fans in the league right now. They're a bunch of clowns. Stop going to the games and cheering against our team. There's a reason we haven't won a home game yet, because our fans are a bunch of idiots. Stop. And then we've got the same syndrome in our damn BLV chat. I can't even read the comments because every comment is get Zappe in the game. It's not go Patriots. It's not go defense. Our defense sucks ass on the game. You don't think our defense was distracted by the fans because they're a bunch of idiots? What are we doing? We're in the chat. We should be supporting our team. We should be positive. We should be rooting for whoever's playing. If Tyquan Thornton's playing receiver, we cheer for him. If N'Keal Harry's playing receiver, we cheer for him too. It doesn't really matter. We're a team. Why did they come out in Super Bowl 36 as a team, not individuals? That's what the Patriots are all about. Not a bunch of spoiled, rotten fans who want to comment in my chat, absolutely blow my chat up, so I can't read any of the comments. I'm trying to get to Big Al. I'm trying to get to these people, and they won't let me because they're just commenting about Zappe. Oh, take your Zappe, turn it sideways, stick it up your candy ass, bro. Let's get to the next damn thing we gotta talk about. We gotta talk about the Jets, okay? We gotta talk about the Jets because that's who the Patriots play next. And I gotta say this about the Jets. Yeah, the Jets are, I don't know what their record is. 5-2, 4-2, 6-2. I don't know. They got a good record, okay? They're playing good. But here's the Jets, right? The Jets don't have an offense, guys. We're going to play a football team next week on Sunday who literally actively do not want to play offense. They just lost Elijah Vera Tucker. They lost Breece Hall. They do not have an offense. They do not have an offensive line. Their quarterback, they literally tell Zach Wilson, do not even play in this game. They don't want Zach Wilson participating in the game. They want him to hand the ball off. They want him to throw screens. The Jets got a very good defense. They're winning games through field position. They're winning games through the turnover battle. And they're winning games by pressure, stopping the run, and doing that stuff. Breece Hall out. Elijah Vera Tucker out. Zach Wilson does not participate. They don't have an offense. The Jets are a team that I think are playing really well right now. I don't think they're going to make it through the year. I don't think the Jets are going to be able to sustain their current pace of play. I just don't see it because they don't have an offense. Their offense does not participate in football games. I talked about the Dolphins and Mike McDaniel being an absolute jackass, but we must talk about Kenny Pickett. Okay, the Kenny Pickett dilemma is the same dilemma that is happening with Mac Jones. Kenny Pickett looks half decent for a rookie at times, right? He definitely knows where to go with the ball. He definitely can accurately get the football there. He definitely is athletic enough to scramble when he needs to and move around when he needs to. But the problem with Kenny Pickett is he's a quarterback that loves to be a playmaker. And he was that way in college. This isn't like Mac Jones. Mac Jones, for some reason, adopted this last season, late last year, where he was just trying to be Mahomes all the time. Again, Mac, settle down. Kenny Pickett, I don't think Kenny Pickett can survive if he continues to play this way. If Kenny Pickett continues to try to win the game with his arm all the time, he's not going to be able to be the starting quarterback of the Steelers very long, because this is a Mike Tomlin football team. He's not going to, be very excited if Pickett's going out there and maybe he throws 3 touchdowns, but if he throws another 2 picks along with it, he's not going to survive. So, Kenny Pickett, man, I get it. You're trying to learn what you can get away with, what you can be successful with at the NFL level, but you got to tone down some of this stuff. Your arm can't make the plays that your brain is trying to make. It just can't. Okay? Gronk, spike the like button if you haven't. Okay, next. Chiefs and the Niners, just briefly on this. I don't understand why teams are playing the Chiefs the way they're playing the Chiefs. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like the Tyree Kill post Chiefs that have people on edge and have people off balance. And I give a ton of credit for Andy Reid. Every week he's dialing it up with some new creative plays and misdirection and keeping people off balance. Why can't teams watch tape and just figure out that I know that you're going to give up some plays, but the best way to defend the Chiefs right now is by playing more man coverage than zone coverage. It's really that simple. You watch the Raiders play, you watch the Colts play them, you watch, what was the other game? The Bills play them. The 3 teams that had the most success playing the Chiefs in spurts in games were those teams because they just tried to challenge the receivers more than other teams are. And it's like, you gotta try to test these receivers. These receivers are not that good. Make them beat you. Travis Kelce's good. I mean, the Raiders don't really got anything on defense as far as coverage is concerned. And they did a great job against the Chiefs for about a half, 3 quarters. And that's probably good enough to get a jump on the Chiefs in games. So to me, I don't understand the approach of playing the Chiefs. Now, I will say with the Niners, they had a lot of injuries to deal with in this game. And that was clear and evident. Hopefully they can get healthy soon. That team is always beat up. That team is always injured. But don't be afraid to play more man coverage against the Chiefs, Now, as for the Niners, I gotta say this. The Niners, you can't have Jimmy Garoppolo turning the ball over. And I've gotta say this about Kyle Shanahan. Brother, Kyle, I understand that you've got a ton of weapons out there, man. And I understand that you want to be creative with your offense. And I understand that you probably should pass the ball. But I think at this point, if you want to win games, and I get it, the game kind of got out of hand and you had to throw it. I think you've got to limit the Jimmy Garoppolo in this team. I just think you've got to limit the Jimmy Garoppolo effect. This team was right there with the Chiefs. And the play that changed the game for me, the play that swayed everything, was that interception, that boneheaded, dumbass interception by Jimmy Garoppolo. You never know when Jimmy G is just going to Jimmy G. You don't know when it's going to happen. But it happens. It's difficult because one play Jimmy looks real good. It's difficult to call plays for this guy because one play he looks good, one play he looks like the worst quarterback in the league. So it's really hard to call plays for this guy. But try to, when you don't know, sway towards taking Jimmy G out of the equation when you can. That is where your team's going to be most successful. I believe that the Niners down the road are going to be healthy on defense and are going to be able to play through their defense and play through their running game. And I think that's a big reason Christian McCaffrey is now a San Francisco 49er. And I understand Christian McCaffrey was only there for 3 days and you couldn't really get him fully involved in the game. But moving forward, Jimmy G has to be less of a factor for this team if they want to be the team that they think they can be, which I believe they can be the best team in the NFC. But it has to be on the shoulders of the defense and the running game. It cannot be through Jimmy G. He just makes too many stupid mistakes and he loses your team games with 2 or 3 plays against good teams. Against bad teams, okay. But against the top upper echelon teams, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Eagles that you're going to see, you got to limit the Jimmy G-ness. I have one rant about the Chiefs, and it is all stemming from a man named Ultra. Okay. Ultra all of a sudden is the biggest Chiefs fanboy on planet Earth. Anybody that comes across Ultra, please try to get away from Chiefs conversations because they can become very, very biased because all of a sudden he's the biggest Chiefs fan on planet Earth. But this is what I gotta say. Tyree Kill would make the Chiefs better. I know that sounds crazy. I know that's insane. I know that's absolutely crazy to say. Yes, Tyree Kill on the Chiefs would make the Chiefs better. As good as they are, Tyree Kill still being on the Chiefs would make the Chiefs better. Tyree Kill currently leads the NFL in receiving yards with a plethora of terrible quarterbacks. Teddy Bridgewater, trash. Tua, trash. The Michael Jordan of not throwing picks. And Skylar Thompson, trash. That's who Tyree Kill leads the NFL in receiving with. Trash, trash, trash. Okay? Tyree Kill's the best receiver in the NFL for my money. You put him on any team, he helps the offense because he demands the most attention and the most respect of any receiver in the game. And he would make the Chiefs better right now. But here's the thing. If you want to say that the Chiefs offense has been more productive and more consistent this year than they were last year, that's fine, and that's probably factually, statistically correct. Although I'm not sure. I don't check the stats because, quite frankly, I've given up on them. They don't tell me anything about the NFL. The NFL is so unpredictable, I can't tell you. But that doesn't mean they won the trade. Okay, Tyree Kill. The trade was not to beat the Niners in week 7. The trade was to make the Chiefs more competitive long-term and to make them win more Super Bowls. It had nothing to do with week 6, week 2, week 7, week 14, week 17. It had nothing to do with those weeks that, quite frankly, for the Kansas City Chiefs, don't mean squat. It had everything to do with the AFC divisional round, the AFC championship, and the Super Bowl. That's what these 3 games, that's what the trade was about. It had nothing to do with week 7 against San Francisco. It had everything to do with, if we trade Tyree Kill, does this make us a better team? And does this make us a Super Bowl team again? Because, quite frankly, the Chiefs won Super Bowl. One Super Bowl, they're a dynasty apparently. One Super Bowl, they're trying to win Super Bowls. That is the deal. The deal is not, can we beat the Niners in week 7? Who gives a shit? They're trying to win the Super Bowl. They're trying to beat the Bills. Does this make them a better team in the Super Bowl? Does this make them a better team against the Bills in the playoffs? We'll see. We're not there yet. We are not there yet. We will see. Next. The GMan. You know what I'm absolutely so happy about? I am so glad, absolutely overjoyed, that the Sharps last week were all over the Jacksonville Jags. I mean, quite frankly, that was the greatest pick I've ever seen. The Jacksonville Jags. These Sharps were so happy to pick the Jags to beat the G-Men. You disrespected the Giants again. How many weeks are you gonna go disrespecting the Giants? The Giants got the 3 points. I told you last week on my pick show, I'm not picking the Jags because they're too inconsistent. They make too many mistakes. And they don't win games. They look pretty in the game. They look like a ton of fun when you watch them. They don't win the game. They don't win the game. Ultimately, you pick the team that is going to win the game. The Giants won the game. Why? Because Doug Peterson didn't want to kick a field goal up 4. Why? Because Travis Etienne fumbled the ball in the red zone. Why? Because they went for 4th down like 3 times in the first 3 quarters when they didn't need to. Take the points. Win the game. What are you doing? Why does Doug Peterson think that just because he was converting 4th downs and 2-point conversions in 2017, that it's still the same in 2022? The NFL has adapted. The NFL has evolved. And this is the biggest thing that coaches like Doug Peterson are missing. The NFL prepares for 4th down now. They're not caught off guard. They're not caught off guard by your 2-point attempt where you do the Philly special. Everybody runs the Philly special. Everybody goes for it on 4th down. Everybody runs the tight end, Travis Kelce, get under the center and quarterback sneak. Everybody runs the jet sweep. Everybody runs quarterback sneak. Everybody knows what's coming on 4th down. Stop acting like 4th down is all of a sudden you got the edge. And then we got guys like Mike McDaniel running a halfback dive up the middle on 4th and 3. I mean, my goodness. But you got the G-Men. Can we start giving Daniel Jones some credit, please? I have yet to see one person comment on my videos, Daniel Jones is good. Can we give some credit to Daniel Jones? I love Brian Daboll as much as the next guy. I love Wink Martindale as much as the next guy. I love Saquon Barkley. I told you that Saquon Barkley is the best running back and nobody cared. Nobody cared. I told you. But Can we give Daniel Jones some credit? How many games does he have to win for Daniel Jones to get credit? How many sacks does he have to avoid by running? How many times does he have to throw to a shit receiver for a touchdown or a first down or just win the damn game for you to respect Daniel Jones? Can we give Daniel Jones some credit? Please. We want to be the first to arrive when Trevor Lawrence throws a cool pass for a first down. Trevor Lawrence doesn't win any games. Daniel Jones is winning games. Who has the better team? I think Jacksonville is more talented than the Giants. Why doesn't Daniel Jones get any love? What? Why doesn't Daniel Jones get any love at all? It's pathetic. Doug Peterson. 1 for 3. 4th down. Before the third quarter. Good work. Okay. A legendary quarterback was replaced. Matt Ryan will no longer be the starter of the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I tried to warn you. I watched him in preseason. I said, the man can't throw the football anymore. I watched the preseason. I warned you, he can't throw the ball. He just can't do it. But really, when we look at this decision, a lot of people are kind of dumbfounded by it. They don't really get it. This is the way I look at it. So, when they acquired Matt Ryan, the thought of the Colts, which was my thought as well, was the Colts will be a team that plays strong defense. They're well coached. They'll run the football. They'll be a run-first team. They'll run play action. You know, there'll be a lot of easy throws for Matt Ryan. They won't really push the ball down the field all that much. They'll play to his strengths. They'll protect him with a really good offensive line. Now, what are the Colts right now? The Colts defense is good, I would say. But the offensive line is not good. They don't protect the quarterback very well. It's very inconsistent, at the very least. They don't run the ball the way they did last year or the year before. The receiving core is better, I would say. But they've got some guys that are more downfield threats, right? And Matt Ryan isn't really built to be that quarterback. And that's causing a lot of pressure on Matt Ryan. It's causing him to speed up his process. It's causing him to make plays, to ad-lib, to move outside the pocket, to extend plays. And quite frankly, Matt Ryan does not have the arm. Matt Ryan is not making a lot of smart plays. He's turning the ball over too much. He's taking too many sacks. And I don't want to get all over Matt Ryan because I like Matt Ryan. I always have. But, like, his time, he's just done. Like, his time is come and gone. And when you look at it from Indianapolis's perspective, sure, could they maybe win 1 or 2 more games with Matt Ryan? Maybe. But when you look at it, what's the best decision for the future of this franchise? The Colts aren't winning the Super Bowl, guys. It doesn't matter who they put in there really at quarterback. It doesn't really matter. They're not winning the Super Bowl. So you talk about a team that has been going through this just quarterback mediocrity, subpar quarterbacking with Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz. Like, Rivers was the best of them, but he couldn't even really do a ton. And they've just been trying to survive, and they haven't found the answer long term. So I feel like shifting to Sam, rather he becomes that guy, or they get a good enough pick where they can find that guy. Because this team isn't going anywhere, quite frankly. I mean, they can't beat the Tennessee Titans once out of 2 games. That's just not good enough. So they pull Matt Ryan. I get it from that standpoint. I think there's still going to be people that say, well, Mitch, they could win the division maybe with Matt Ryan. Okay, whatever. It's not going to matter in the long run. I don't even think they win the division with him because it looks like the Titans clearly own them and they have 2 games on them. So, I don't know, man. I kind of get the decision, although it was a bit surprising because I didn't think they were super high on the backup. It does make sense. Okay, quickly on the Bengals. My power rankings video I'm going to do later today. Not sure if it will be live or if it will be recorded, but I'm going to do it. The Bengals, just spoiler alert, they're going to be in the top 5. The Bengals are a top tier B team in the NFL right now. They're a top 5 team, and it's mostly because they found their explosive offense once again. 10, 20-plus yard plays in that game against the Falcons. And I think they're a top 5 team, and we've seen that they've actually given a team like Kansas City a lot of fits last year. So it'll be interesting to see how they continue to evolve, but the Bengals have found themselves. They were very rough. Joe Burrow did not play well. Their defense was kind of playing well, but all of a sudden their defense hasn't played as well, but their offense has gotten, caught up. I think the Bengals are now considered a top 5 team in a very weak NFL. Atlanta, they're just kind of who we thought they were. They're kind of an average team in my opinion, but they need to play a certain way to win. And their secondary, very beat up. They just can't win if they're not in the game and they're not able to run the ball. If they're behind, it's tough for them to win. The Cowboys and the Lions. I think from this point on, I'm going to fade the Lions as much as I can. The Lions just look like a disjointed football team. Their defense is not talented. It's not very good. They don't make a lot of plays. And their offense is not playing at nearly the same level that they were early in the year. Jared Goff has turned into Jared Goof. 5 turnovers by the Lions in this game. They ran 23 plays. They had 3 fumbles and an interception in the fourth quarter. Dan Campbell, just been terrible. He's been terrible. I can't defend this guy. He should be gone at the end of this year. Terrible. But I will say this about Dallas. I think they're one of those teams that they can win a lot of games through their formula of defense, run the football, protect the football. And I credit Mike McCarthy for sticking with that approach, even with Dak Prescott, because it would be very easy to try to lean into, let's pass it more, let's be more aggressive, let's try to go for the throat. But they played it very, very similar to what they did with Cooper Rush, and that seemed to work. Now, I don't think Dallas is a team that's going to blow that many teams out. This game should have been a lot closer than it was. I think Dallas is going to have to win a lot of close, defensive, hard-fought football games because I don't think their offense is really that great in the passing game. I think they can run it a bit, but I don't fear their offense the way it is right now. Maybe it gets better. Maybe they become more of a complete team. The trade, they ended up getting Hankins. I thought that was definitely a position of need for them. They trade a late round pick for Jonathan Hankins off the Raiders. We'll see how that works out. But worthwhile trade maybe for a big run stuffer to help their defense out and get even stronger. But yeah, the Cowboys, they need to play defensively. I think, like I said with Cooper Rush, Cooper was making too many mistakes. I know that some of them weren't converted into turnovers, but if you watch the games, a lot of them were put up for grabs. They could have been picked off. There could have been fumbles, things like that. Dak is smarter. Dak's going to know when to make plays. Dak's going to know when to not make a play, and he's going to be a really good manager of the game for them. That's not a belittling term. That just means that he's going to take care of the game. And I think that's how the Cowboys got to play if they want to be a successful team this year. They got to play through their strength, which is their defense. Okay, let's talk about Tessa's Seahawks real quick. how legit are the Hawks? First of all, Kenneth Walker, absolutely beast. I mean, just an absolute monster, a beast, a freak show. And I'm going to have to go back in the vault and find my Kenneth Walker scouting report to post that as a short. But that guy is an absolute beast. And I will say, he has been energy for that team in the running game. I do worry a little bit about DK Metcalf being potentially injured. We'll see how that goes. I know it's not as bad as they initially thought it would be. Geno continues to play well. I thought the Seahawks thoroughly dominated the Chargers. They ran the football. They passed it when they needed to, but they won that game through their play at the line of scrimmage on offense. They possessed the football. They kept Herbert on the sidelines. And when Herbert was on the field, their defense stepped up. Their defense continues to get better. I think the Seahawks legitimately could be a wild card team. I think they're in that conversation with teams like the Rams, teams like the Falcons, teams like the... Who else? I mean, Giants are in that mix. Cowboys are in that mix as well, but I feel like the Seahawks are getting to be in that mix. I definitely feel like we should be giving them a lot more respect because their offense is playing really, really well, and they're able to score points and move the football. And quite frankly, there's not a lot of good offenses and not a lot of offenses that are better than Seattle right now. And if their defense just continues to get better and better and better week by week, that's a good thing. With the Chargers, Brandon Staley's got to go. He's got to go. I mean, again, I'll admit where I was wrong. I was wrong on Brandon Staley. This guy, he can't get his defense figured out. They can't stop the run. They have yet to stop the run. The offense just isn't creative enough, and that falls on the head coach as well. He does go for it at inopportune times. His defense just doesn't stop anybody. I mean, how many Pro Bowlers do you need to stop an offense? It's just ridiculous. So I think Brandon Staley, if it's not now, it should be at the end of the year that Brandon Staley is gone. And if I was the Chargers, if I was their front office, if I was their ownership, I'd do everything in my power to get Sean Payton there. It does feel like Sean Payton is interested. If you want to win a Super Bowl with Justin Herbert, that's your guy. That's your guy. So I would fire Brandon Staley as soon as possible and get this team turned around, because at least on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, even if you just get a guy that can fix this defense, they could be a lot better than they are, because the offense, man, the offense is fine as long as they have Herbert, but the defense is just a train wreck, and they need somebody in there to fix the defense. The Raiders, they beat and they handled the Texans in the fourth quarter of that game. They end up winning, I believe, by 17, 38-21. Shout out to Josh McDaniels, what he's been able to do with that running game. Josh Jacobs running for 7 yards a carry. They're one of the only teams that utilizes a fullback, and I just feel like the NFL today, they just struggle with that type of attack. I've said this for years. You know, the Patriots for a long time had a fullback with Jakob Johnson. The Raiders took Jakob Johnson, and they're running the ball really, really well, and that offensive line is playing way above their heads. You know, that offensive line is playing as the best run-blocking offensive line in the NFL, according to multiple statistics. So that falls on the coaching. That falls on Josh McDaniels. Nobody thought that this offensive line would be any good. They're playing really good. The play-action game, they've found it. Devontae Adams playing great football when he's not knocking down cameramen. And if they can find out and figure out a way to get this defense to play a bit better, they're a legit AFC playoff team. They are a legit team who could go into any stadium and play them well because of how dynamic their offense can be. Don't look now, but they're third in points for this season, and I believe they're only behind the Bills and the Chiefs. So the Raiders are one of those teams, man, like the Bengals were last year, where if they just make it to the dance, they can go to Kansas City and go play for play, shot for shot, drive for drive with a team like the Chiefs. We've seen them do that. And if one play or two goes their way, they can get an upset. They can go to Buffalo and they can play them very competitively. That is the type of team where if they're a wild card team and you're the Bengals and you're the 3 seed and you're playing the number 6 Raiders, you don't really want to see the Raiders in that game. You know what I mean? Like, the Raiders are a team that can win 31-30 in a shootout, and they can dictate the game because of how well they run the ball, and they can keep you on edge and off balance because of their play calling and because of the play action, and because when Derek Carr's playing well, Derek Carr can play as well as any quarterback in the game. So the Raiders are definitely rising. The Ravens and the Browns, in terms of this game, I just see this is the team that the Bucs play on Thursday night. We're going to wrap up with the Bucs. We got to talk about the Packers as well. But the Ravens do not, I understand they have a decent record. The Ravens are not impressive to me. Offensively, their passing game, it's too reliant on big shot plays. Far too often, I watch the Ravens trying to run their passing game, and it comes off play action typically. It's like 3 routes, and it's Lamar trying to hit a deep in cut. It's Lamar trying to hit a go ball. It's Lamar trying to hit a post. It's Lamar trying to hit a crosser. It just feels too simplistic right now, and it feels too tied to what they're trying to do in the running game. I don't see enough solutions with the Ravens from a passing perspective. I do not see enough gimme easy yardage for Lamar as a passer right now. So much of it is shot play, big play, looking for explosive plays that, quite frankly, are not there. And a lot of times, if you watch the Ravens, there'll be plays where Lamar is sitting in the pocket for 3 or 4 seconds and there's nothing there. And it's the offensive line's protecting well, and then he has to move around and he has to try and find some sort of play to work. And that's just not sustainable offense against any team. Their running game is good, but they don't have dynamic running backs. Like, this is a team. The Niners just invested heavily into a running back. If I was the Ravens, this would be one of the only teams that I would go out of my way to try to trade for a good running back. Because the Ravens would be so much better if they had a dynamic running threat. I don't think that's Gus Edwards. I don't think that's J.K. Dobbins. I don't think that's Kenyon Drake. I understand that system is supposed to make running backs better, but imagine if you could make an already great running back better. How good would this rushing attack be? How much more would you have to respect their rushing attack if they had a dynamic, explosive runner? If this offense had a Saquon, if this offense had a Derrick Henry, if this offense had, one of those Nick Chubb, a running back where he can hit a home run play, and you've got to deal with Lamar Jackson on the edge. You've got to deal with the running back making big plays. And I look at the Ravens, and I just don't understand what they're doing in the front office. Like, I look at their team, and I think they're one of the most overrated rosters in the league. Like, I don't want to put a lot of blame on John Harbaugh. I don't think this team has a lot of talent. Like, quite frankly, I don't think this team is super talented. You look at this team, and they got a couple good offensive linemen. Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson. Rashad Bateman's talented, but he's yet to prove himself, and quite frankly, he's not used properly within that passing game. And then defensively, they've got no real legit pass rushers. They've got no real legit interior players. Like, they're all okay. They're old. The safety, Marcus Williams is good. Marlon Humphrey is good. Marcus Peters is past his prime. They don't got a lot of depth. I mean, it just feels like the Ravens roster is poorly constructed right now. And it starts with the offense. I mean, they don't have I like Devin Duvernay as like a playmaker. He's a really good athlete. He's not a great receiver. They need a better slot receiver. Lamar Jackson likes to throw the ball in between the numbers. He always has. It was nice when he had a Marquise Brown outside where he could throw the ball down the field and threaten a defense. You decided to trade him. It would be better if he had a quick slot receiver who could get open, who could complement Mark Andrews. Now, if I was the Ravens, I would really look at that kind of Edelman-Gronk formula. You already got your Gronk. Why not go out there and try to get this really nice slot receiver for Lamar Jackson? And they don't have that. They don't have a dynamic running back. They don't have a running back who you can throw the ball to. So you're really just limiting your options from an offensive standpoint. And your drop-back passing game is suffering because of it. And their defense, they don't get a good pass rush. They're forced to blitz a lot, which leaves their corners on islands a lot. And I feel like when they play teams with good receivers, they can be exposed in that facet. So it will be really intriguing to see how the Bucs play against the Ravens, because I do feel like if the Ravens decide to blitz Brady, I do think there's going to be opportunities for Brady, Evans, and Godwin to make plays in the game. And that's where maybe if you're a Bucs fan who's struggling right now, you could be hopeful that maybe your players can come through with some plays. But yeah, the Ravens, I just watched them and I understand they're winning some games, but they don't look good to me. They look flawed to me, and I'm worried about them moving forward. The Browns are a team that I thought Jacoby Brissett played his ass off in the game. I thought Amari Cooper played really good. I thought that was kind of a garbage call at the end of the game. I thought Njoku is a top 6 or 7 tight end in the NFL. He's going to be missed. He's a good blocker. He's a good receiver. He's been playing his ass off. I think he's like top 5 in fantasy points with the tight end position. He's a really good player. He's going to be hurt. And Donovan Peoples-Jones can play. I mean, their offensive line can play. Their weakness is at left tackle. They can't pass protect on the left side a lot of the time, and we've seen that against good pass rushers. I don't understand why they act like they're this passing team with Jacoby Brissett. I don't know if they're trying to prepare for when Deshaun Watson gets back, but Jacoby has played really admirably, but he's not, like, run the ball. Like, your offense is really good at running the ball. And Nick Chubb, I don't think he even saw 20 carries in this game. He only saw 16 carries. The game was close throughout the game, and they just didn't run the ball enough. I mean, Nick Chubb had 5 yards a carry, and they just got away from it. And what happens when you don't run the ball and you give the other team possessions? I mean, when you play the Ravens, you want to win the possession battle because that forces the Ravens into more possessions where they're forced to drop back pass. You know, they're not able to run the ball the way they'd like. They're not able to eat the clock the way they'd like. When you play the Ravens, you got to play them a certain way. The Browns don't play to their strengths. They played it a lot like New England did on Monday night. Like, run the ball, man. Keep your defense off the field. Your defense is not very good. I actually thought the defense played better in that game, but I don't know. Stefanski, man, he's just not having a good year. I feel like a lot of these games have been close. I still think he's a quality play caller, but I feel like he's just lost some games because he hasn't played the game correctly, in my opinion. Moving to the Green Bay Packers and a coach that I absolutely love to tear apart. The Green Bay Packers, man, they're interesting to me. They're so interesting to me. The Green Bay Packers are plus 11.5, guys. They're getting 11.5 points against the Buffalo Bills. I never thought I would see the day that an Aaron Rodgers football team with a lot of talent around the quarterback would be getting 11.5 points. I don't care who they were playing. 11.5 points? That's an insane amount of points in the NFL to be giving a Hall of Fame quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. It's absolutely unbelievable. 11.5 points. So I went back, I watched this game. What happened to the Packers in this game? It's a lot of the same stuff that we've been discussing. A lot of the same stuff that they have yet to fix. When you watch the game, there was an effort at the beginning to get the football to Aaron Jones. There was an effort at the beginning of the game to get the ball to Aaron Jones. And what happened? They started to move the ball, right? 8 carries for Aaron Jones, I believe, in the entire game, which is ridiculous. 4 for A.J. Dillon, which is ridiculous. At the beginning of the game, they go up 14-3. In the first possessions of this game, the Packers didn't do a bad job moving the ball. when they got the ball to Aaron Jones. A toss to Aaron Jones on the first play goes for 8 yards. They screen it to Aaron Jones on the second play. He gets the first down. They toss again to Aaron Jones. 3 consecutive plays to get Aaron Jones the ball. 4 yards. 2nd and 6, they then get 2 yards. Right? 3rd down, they try a slant to Allen Lazard, which Allen Lazard just drops. That's the first possession in the game. The second possession in the game, they score a touchdown. Right? Aaron Jones, 7 yards on a toss play on the second drive. He is your alpha weapon. It's not a receiver anymore. You've got to find a way to scheme up touches to Aaron Jones. Whether it's as a receiver in the slot, out of the backfield, in the screen game, in the running game, you've got to find a way to get the ball to Aaron Jones. That is your guy. That is your alpha guy. Not Devontae Adams, not Allen Lazard. It's Aaron Jones. And it should be Aaron over A.J. Dillon. I like giving A.J. Dillon some carries, especially, in those short yardage situations, and to keep the defense off balance with 2 different types of running backs. But Aaron Jones is the guy. He's not getting the ball enough in the game sustainably. They spam him with the ball in moments of the game, and then they don't give it to him the rest of the game. It's embarrassing. Okay? There's the play that I really felt like kind of changed the game was the Amari Rodgers muffed punt. I believe the Packers were up 14-0 at that point. Maybe 7, maybe 14-3. I don't quite recall. But that was a big play because you could just see the energy of the Packers. They were in full control. They had the possession of the game. They were up 11 points. They got a pick 6. They had the momentum. And that muff punt, for whatever reason, you could just see it on the face of Aaron Rodgers. He was like, oh boy, here we go again. And it just felt like that from that point on, even though their defense held them to a field goal on that drive, the momentum of the game just changed right there. It just changed. And when I look at the game, the Packers started the game 14-3. No matter what, what you want to say there. The Packers, maybe you'll say, they got a short field from a good punt return early. They score a touchdown there, and then they get a pick 6. So it wasn't really the offense doing the work. Okay, who cares? They're up 14-3. They're up 11 points. My question is there, Mike LaFleur. My question is, why don't you start running the ball? It makes no sense to end the game, Aaron Jones, 8 carries, when you're winning the game by 11 points early in the game. It makes no sense to end the game, your best player getting 8 carries when you're up 14-3. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Washington ends up going on a 17-point run. They thoroughly dominate the game. They're winning the line of scrimmage. Right? Matt LaFleur is calling passes constantly. You're up 14-3. You've got an 11-point cushion in this game. It doesn't matter how you got that lead. You've got an 11-point lead. Run the ball. Play to your strength. And that's really what I see with the Packers. They don't play to their identity. What their identity should be is a run-first offense. Run first. Use those RPOs when you can. Run your play action off of it, but stress the defense with something. When you watch the Packers this year, the games that they've won 3 games this year. They beat the Patriots. They ran for a ton of yards in the game. They beat the Bears on Sunday Night Football. They ran for 200 yards in the game. They beat the Bucs, and even though they didn't run the ball very successfully, they ran it a lot. This is a team that needs attempts in the running game. if your receivers are not going to threaten the defense and the defense is not scared of your passing game, you've got to make them respect your running game. You've got to do something with your offense that makes the other team respect your offense. And I just look at the formula of what this team has done when they've won games, and it's been run the football. It's been Aaron Jones. It's been A.J. Dillon. Run the ball. And they haven't done that enough. You look at their passing game's extremely limited. Their offense is literally 3 plays. It's bubble screen, maybe 4 plays. Bubble screen, slant, go, and run up the middle or outside zone. Inside, outside zone, bubble screen, fade, and slant. That's the offense. That's the offense of Green Bay. They've got no creativity in the drop back passing game. And that's where the Packers are getting in trouble. Is they're trying to be this drop back from shotgun, throw the ball. You don't got great receivers. Your passing game is extremely simple. It's extremely easy to get a beat on what Aaron Rodgers is doing. Rodgers is playing way too conservatively, right? Not all the blame falls on Matt LaFleur. Not all the blame falls on the offensive line. Aaron Rodgers made some plays in this game. He made a nice throw to Aaron Jones, but how many times this year have you seen Aaron Rodgers get the snap and immediately throw the ball to the flat, to the running back because he has leverage on a linebacker? How many times have you seen Aaron Rodgers immediately throw his first read without really taking his time, planting his foot, and trying to make a strike down the field? That's not very Aaron Rodgers-like. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. Now, Aaron Rodgers needs to make more plays. I know he's concerned about his touchdown to interception ratio, but he's not pressing the issue enough. I've been defending Aaron Rodgers all year because they have not supported him with the pieces to be successful, and I believe that. But Aaron Rodgers, you got to be willing to make more plays. You can't be so conservative. You can't be Mr. Game Manager out there all the time. So some of it's the offense, some of it's not playing to your strength, some of it's Aaron Rodgers. I do still think this team has talent. I still do think this team can make the playoffs. Maybe I'm digging myself a hole here. I think the Packers got the pieces to be successful. Do I think they need to look themselves in the mirror and figure out what they can be identity-wise? Yes. My thing is, when you got that lead, Packers, that's where you guys want to be. You guys should want to be right there, 14-3. You're a run team. You're a pass defense type of team. Your defense played good in the game. I thought they played very well against Washington, and I think they're going to give Josh Allen a tough time because I think they can play pass defense and they can rush the passer. Their run defense is not very good, and when they fall behind in games, that's where it's going to be trouble. But try to play to your strengths and try to win these type of games. And right now, that's not how they're playing. So that's how I view it. Shout out to Terry McLaurin, man, for making a heck of a play at the end and trying to, carry the team, putting the team on his back. Shout out to Terry McLaurin, had a fabulous game. I look at Taylor Heineken, and I will say this. The guy's a gamer. I've said that all along. He's a gamer. He makes throws. He tries to make plays. He made a ton of terrible plays. He made a ton of terrible throws, a ton of inaccurate throws. He was pretty bad in the game overall. But the guy at least tries to win games. And I think Aaron Rodgers can take a page out of his book and say, hey, man, this guy, he kind of played like shit, to be honest with you. But he went out there and he made a couple plays in the game that was the difference. And I got to try to do that for my football team. So that's the lesson for Aaron Rodgers. We're going to end with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, guys, of course. Because everybody now is writing the Bucs off. And I don't blame them. They're writing the Bucs off. The Bucs are done. The Bucs are finished. The Bucs have no chance. They're not going to come back. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're not going to win this division. I will say, before I get to all the negatives, positively for the Bucs. They have a quick turnaround. They play on Thursday night. They play the Ravens. They play at home. They can put themselves right back in the driver's seat for a playoff spot. Win this game, you're right back in the driver's seat. You're back to 500. You're back to where you want to be. Is it ideal? No, but you can be back right where you want to be. On top of that, you're in an NFC South that, quite frankly, is terrible. You got the Atlanta Falcons, you got the Carolina Panthers, who you just lost to, and you've got the New Orleans Saints. All teams, all three, are a mess. And the Bucs might win this division with 8 or 9 wins. Okay? But all you got to do is get in the dance, and you got to be prepared for when you get in the dance. From there on, we've seen the Bucs as underdogs perform, and perform well in recent history. So that is the positive. You play in a really weak division, in a bad conference overall, and you've got a quick turnaround. Now, the question of the day is Tom Brady washed? Is Tom Brady done? Does Tom Brady need to retire? Should Tom Brady have stayed retired? Should Tom Brady should he have come back? Tom Brady is not washed in the traditional sense. And what I mean by the traditional sense is, when you watch an athlete who is washed, like let's take Matt Ryan, for example. Matt Ryan is washed. What about Matt Ryan is washed? Physically, he just doesn't have it anymore. Matt Ryan cannot put zip on the football. And that is leading to way more mistakes. That is leading to bad quarterback play. Tom Brady is throwing the ball well. He's got arm strength. He still can throw a pretty ball. Even in these 2 games against the Steelers and the Panthers, we've seen a few throws where he just puts it right on the money. The problem with Tom Brady right now is that Tom Brady is playing like a pussy. I said it. Tom Brady is still really talented. Tom Brady's got a great arm still. Tom Brady has all of the tools that he had last year when I was arguing he was the MVP of football. Right now, Tom Brady is playing like a pussy. That is how he is playing. Tom Brady is mentally uncomfortable. Tom Brady is scared. He's playing scared. He's in a funk where he's sitting in the pocket and he's throwing the ball too fast. He's trying to get rid of it. He's trying to avoid the rush every chance he gets. He's trying to throw the ball at the ground. He's throwing the ball short of his receivers. I've been trying to figure out what's going on with this offense. What's going on with Tom Brady? And don't get me wrong, Tom Brady is not the biggest reason the Bucs can't score. He is not the biggest reason. But part of the reason the Bucs suck on offense is because their leader, their MVP, the best player on their team, Tom Brady, is not playing like the best player on their team. Tom Brady is not playing like an MVP. Tom Brady's playing like a pussy. This is not the Tom Brady that I love, that I fell in love with. That's my favorite quarterback. Tom Brady does not throw the ball away too fast. Tom Brady does not get rid of the ball to get rid of the ball. Tom Brady does not play it conservatively. Tom Brady sits in the pocket, reads the defense, and takes the best throw available. Whether that means throw the ball fast or that means hold the ball for an extra second, get clocked, and throw the ball to the open receiver. Tom Brady is not taking enough chances. Tom Brady is not hanging in the pocket that extra second to get that guy open and throw him open. Tom Brady is not willing to get hit. Tom Brady is not willing to get sacked. Tom Brady is not willing to stand there, be a man, and throw the football. Any little semblance of pressure, of the rush, is throwing him into a funk, is throwing him off his game, and is making him uncomfortable. And that is the funk he is in. It's not that he can't throw the ball anymore. It's not that he can't move as well as he could move. It's not that he can't process a defense. It's that he's playing like a little girl. That is why Tom Brady is not playing well. And the Bucs offensively, boy, do they got a lot of issues. Mike Evans, 76-yard potential touchdown. He drops the ball. First time I've ever seen Mike Evans drop a wide open pass. I've never seen Mike Evans in his entire career drop a ball like that. That was unbelievable. That just shot the Bucs in the foot and completely took the energy out of their offense. It looked like their offense was ready to go. It was gearing up. Couple plays in the game. Wide open. He drops the ball for a touchdown. Imagine if they score a touchdown, how that game may change, how the momentum may change, how the energy may change for that Bucs team. Now, I would have fired Brian Leftwich yesterday. I would have at least approached Bruce Arians to coming back to the sidelines and organizing this thing. I think what the Bucs are missing from a coaching perspective, because each week they've been getting outcoached. Every week they seem like they're not prepared to play. They don't have the best game plan for their opponent. They just run their plays. That's not a way to win in the NFL. They're missing that voice on the sidelines. That red marker that became famous of Bruce Arians. And I've been as critical as Bruce Arians as anybody. I said he was a lazy ass. I said he played too much golf. I said he took it too easy. And sure, he probably did. But you know what Bruce Arians did? When Bowles and Leftwich came up with their game plans, Bruce Arians sat there, he looked at both of them, and he said, Byron, that's good. I like that play. I like that play. I don't like that play. Let's get rid of that play. Maybe we should add this play instead. I like that play. I don't like this play. That play's not going to work against this defense this week. You know, we tried that play on 4th and 1 last week. It didn't work. Let's try a new one. That's what Bruce Arians was doing for this team the last 2 years. He wasn't scheming the offense. He wasn't this genius operator. He was the old school head coach that went through the game plans, Bill Parcells style, and said, Bowles, I don't like that blitz this week. I like this coverage this week. Let's make sure we call a lot of this week. Hey, let's go for it on 4th down right here. That's what Bruce Arians did. And Bruce Arians had a bravado, a confidence, and an energy about him that Todd Bowles doesn't have right now. Todd Bowles does not give this team any confidence as the head coach. Todd Bowles is being critical. And I like Todd Bowles, especially as a defensive coach. But you've got to be critical of him right now as a head coach. He was not successful with the Jets, and you wonder if he'll ever be successful as a head coach, because from a personality standpoint, Bruce Arians had this energy. He had this bravado. He had this just almost cockiness about him where his teams were super confident. And sure, sometimes they played stupid because of it. They played maybe a little bit to risk it, risk it to get the biscuit, so to speak, right? But that was what was good about the Bucs. You know, they were just like, they'd go into the game and they'd say, fuck it. And they'd just do it. And it also helped Brady too. It helped Brady come out of his shell, and it helped Brady be more aggressive. And right now we're seeing Brady play like a pussy and play contained, and he needs to play better. Now, from an offensive standpoint, they've got no running game. I continue to say it, no running game. And the reason they've got no running game, it's a pathetic running game. Ultra brought me the numbers. It's like a historically bad running game. So they've got no balance on offense. Right now, they've got Chris Godwin operating at less than 100%. It's clear and evident to see. He's still fighting his ass off. He's still playing tough, but he's not the same player. He's not the same player. Mike Evans gets hurt and beat up every week. They've only got 2 options to throw the ball to. They really desperately lack a 3rd and 4th option in the passing game. Teams are doubling both these guys, and they're asking Brady to go elsewhere with the ball, and they don't got many answers, and they can't run the ball. So it's easy to double team these guys because they can't run the ball. All they do is run 3 runs. 3 runs, guys. That is why their offense can't run the ball, because they run 3 runs. It's so uncreative. It's so lacking. Byron Leftwich, I don't know how he still has a job. Add some flavor to the running game, man. It's ISO, duo, and toss crack. Those are the 3 runs they run. And they run them continuously, and they're not good at them. They're trying to overpower teams. They're just trying to push them back. They're not, adding any sort of motion to the run game, any sort of formation to try to throw it off, any pulling linemen, anything like at all. It's just like so vanilla. It's so bad. It's 3 runs. It's easy to see. It's easy to defend. You look at the best running games in the league and you see all the motion. You see all of these different, creative ways to gain matchup advantages, to gain little edges in the blocking. And the Bucs do none of it. They just ask their players to overcome deficiencies. It's bad, man. And the bad running is leading to bad 3rd down because the 3rd downs are usually tough. It's usually 3rd and 7. It's usually 3rd and 8. They can't run the ball, so it's short yardage. They can't run the ball for a 3rd and 1. And then last week there was a 3rd and 1 and a 4th and 1, and they got neither of them. They tried an inside run, didn't work. They tried to toss on 4th down, didn't work. Pathetic. You see you're not running the ball all game. You continue to try these same plays that don't work. They just don't work. And another thing about this offense, they just got to try to be more aggressive. They got to try to go for it more down the field. It's crazy that I'm saying that about the Bucs because that's what they were the last 2 years. But right now, they run a lot of plays that lead to nothing. I mean, they run a lot of plays and they score very little points. It's bad. It's bad. I highly recommend that the Bucs trade for Brandon Cooks. Jason Light, if you're out there, listen to me. There is a man with a bow and arrow in Houston that you need to get. You need to add speed to this offense. You need to add a vertical threat to this offense. Jason Light, he's played with Tom Brady in one of his best years ever, an MVP campaign. His name is Brandon Cooks. Trade for Brandon Cooks. If you know what's good for you, Jason Light, trade for Brandon Cooks. You need a 3rd option. Julio's not reliable. Get Brandon Cooks right now. Do it. The defense, I do worry about the run defense. I do worry about the toughness of the defense. I've never seen a Todd Bowles team play with this lack of aggression, this lack of toughness, this lack of want to, this lack of just pissed off attitude. They don't have any of that right now. They're getting ran on. And they do have a lot of injuries, right? Carlton Davis, Winfield, Logan Ryan, Akeem Hicks, Sean Murphy-Bunting, all injured. Probably all going to miss Thursday's game, which is not a good thing. But you've got an opportunity to play a Lamar Jackson-led rushing offense, to prove yourself, to go out there at home and set a statement. Devin White, Levante David, Vita Vea, You've got an opportunity to go out there and have a statement game against the run. I think they need to bring Ndamukong Suh back if they can. I don't know if he wants to come back. I would try. And for the love of God, can we get Jalen Darden off punt returns? The guy does not want to get hit. Cut him. He's terrible. When he doesn't trip over his own shoes, he runs out of bounds. Cut him. That's all I got to say about the Bucs. It's a lot of the same issues, guys, but it's not really the players. A lot of it to do with the coaching. And Tom Brady, man, play like Tom Brady. I know you still got it. Play like Tom Brady. Come on, man. All right. That is it, guys. That is your weekly review, your Week 7 NFL review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, Gronk spike the like button. Tuesday edition. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Remember, guys, this is a journey, a mountain that we're climbing together. It's we, it is not I. We have 39,000 subscribers. Let's try to get 40,000. Thank you guys for watching. It's Mitch. Peace.